In today's video, I'm going to show you how I completely transformed my great room to go from this to this by installing an electric fireplace with built-ins. An electric fireplace is an easy DIY project that can be done in a weekend just about anywhere in your home and usually without a permit. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and leave a comment with your thoughts. You'll find links to all these items in the video description below. Let me start by saying the key to every successful project is planning. This plan here was done in SketchUp, and you don't need to use that, but you do need to make a plan with enough detail to know exactly what you'll need. After the plan was approved by the boss, also known as my wife, I bought the fireplace and two 18 by 40 inch cabinets from IKEA. I've used these IKEA section cabinets in a previous fireplace project and even built them into a platform bed. Fun fact, that's the viral video that really launched my YouTube channel in 2015. If you're interested, I'll put a link to that in the video description below. Anywho, I set the fireplace and cabinet doors roughly in place to make any final adjustments of the layout so I could determine exactly where to build the half wall on the left side.
Fire in the hole!
I couldn't just have a cabinet dangling out there in the middle of nowhere. My fireplace is a Dimplex Revolution, which is coincidentally the same fireplace insert that we used at my daughter's house on my series called The Living Flip. It was sponsored in that previous video, but we loved it so much that we bought one for ourselves in this house. The only complication on this project was that I needed to move the light switch up about 6 inches because it was in the way of my new wall. But I used this as an opportunity to add a second switch that would control half the outlet so I could plug in the cabinet lights there, and the fireplace would plug into the other half. And I also added another outlet for power on top of the mantle. I bought a 3-pack of dimmable puck lights for the cabinets, even though I only needed 2. That way I'd have a spare in case one fails. Better to be safe than sorry. The framing was done in 3 sections, all with 2x4 kiln-dried lumber. The bottom frame supported the cabinets and the fireplace, and lifted them off the floor roughly the height of my baseboard molding. The cabinets were 15 inches deep and attached to the wall with snap-toggle drywall anchors. I extended the cabinets on top and both sides with 1x4 filler strips. The top frame held everything together and provided a stable base for the granite mantle that would be installed later. The final part of the frame was the fireplace opening. The fireplace stuck out beyond the cabinets by a couple of inches to allow me to wrap the stone, as you'll see later. I covered the exposed framing with 1/4-inch hardy board as an underlayment for the stone. Some of you may have noticed I'm covering up the cable jack and HDMI cables for the TV. I completely cut the cord several months ago, so I have no need for a cable box or DVD player anymore. But the fireplace can be easily removed for servicing, so I placed the spare cabinet light behind it before attaching the fireplace to the framing. Here you can see how much room was left behind the fireplace for the wires. After installing the doors, I was ready for the stone. The stone I used was left over from a fireplace project in my old house in 2018. We loved it so much that we brought the unused product to our new house in hopes of doing another fireplace project just like this one. It's a volcanic stone veneer called Norstone plank, which was sponsored for the previous project. In fact, it's the only part of this project that we didn't buy. If you're interested, look for a link to the entire video about Norstone in the video description. Since this was a much smaller installation than my last one, I wasn't worried about the stone falling off and hitting anyone in the head, so I decided to adhere the stone with a high-quality construction adhesive instead of mortar. It was much faster this time, less mess, and everything held very well. We went with a dark granite for the manteltop. The color is called steel gray, and it's a leather finish, which looks absolutely amazing against the stone. A few dental blocks above the doors, and molding around the top finished it off. The total cost of this project was around $3,500, with more than half going to the fireplace itself. But it's a really good fireplace. And if you're interested in learning more about the Dimplex revolution, look in the video description for a link to my complete review. If you need shade on your deck or patio this summer, check out Toya Grid Pergola Kits. You source the lumber locally and can assemble this modular system in as little as 30 minutes. Check the video description for links to videos and more information about Toya Grid.